to welcome you on this wonderful day and in this beautiful setting as we prepare to bear witness to one of the most sacred moments life has to offer, the union of two people by marriage. Marriage is in itself a blessing, but doubly blessed is the couple who comes to their wedding ceremony with the support and love of their families and friends. Who has the honor of presenting this woman to be married to this man?
Her mother and I.
Please be seated. And now we'd like to welcome friend of the couple, Nikki Merritt, who will share a reading by Robert Fulgham.
Union by Robert Fulgham. You have known each other from the first glance of acquaintance to this point of commitment. At some point, you decided to marry. From that moment of yes to this moment of yes, indeed, you have been making commitments in an informal way. All of those conversations that were held in a car or over a meal or during long walks, all those conversations that began with when we're married and continued with I will and you will and we will. All those late night talks that included someday and somehow and maybe, and all those promises that are unspoken matters of the heart. All these common things and more are the real process of a wedding. The symbolic vows that you are about to make are a way of saying to one another, you know all those things that we promised and hoped and dreamed. Well, I meant it all, every word. Look at one another and remember this moment in time. Before this moment, you have been many things to one another. Acquaintance, friend, companion, lover, dancing partner, even teacher, for you have learned much from one another these past few years. Shortly you shall say a few words that will take you across a threshold of life, and things between you will never quite be the same. For after today you shall say to the world, this is my husband, this is my wife.
And at this time, we'd like to welcome friend of the couple, Brendan Rice, who will share a reading by Neil Gaiman.
All I Know About Love by Neil Gaiman. This is everything I have to tell you about love. Nothing. This is everything I've learned about marriage. Nothing. Only that the world out there is complicated, and there are beasts in the night, and delight and pain. And the only thing that makes it okay, sometimes, is to reach out a hand in the darkness and find another hand to squeeze, and not to be alone. It's not the kisses, or never just the kisses. It's what they mean. Somebody's got your back. Somebody knows your worst self and somehow doesn't want to rescue you or send the army to rescue them. It's not two broken halves becoming one. It's the life of a distant lighthouse bringing you both safely home, because home is where you are both together. So this is everything I have to tell you about love and marriage. Nothing, like a book without pages or a forest without trees. Because there are things you cannot know before you experience them. Because no study can prepare you for the joys or the trials. Because no one else's love, no one else's marriage is like yours. And it's a road you can only learn by walking it, a dance you cannot be taught, a song that did not exist before you began together to sing. And because in the darkness you will reach out a hand, not knowing for certain if someone else is even there, and your hands will meet, and then neither of you will ever need to be alone again. And that's all I know about love.
We've heard the messages from two great authors, compelling words that chart a course all of us would do well to follow. But John and Jenny are also the authors of their own story. And today, we are honored to bear witness to a critical moment in that story, but certainly not its beginning. The events of their early courtship date back several years and are well documented, as many of you have no doubt heard or read on their website. They're even officially documented with the Department of Human Resources. How many of us can claim that our first date has been entered into the public record? From those unexpected beginnings, a relationship bloomed between two special people who happen to be perfectly suited for one another. We are all here today because of our relationships to John, or to Jenny, or to both. We love them for what they mean to each of us. Whether they are to you a child, grandchild, a sibling, a niece or nephew, a cousin, co-worker, or a friend, your life is better for knowing John and Jenny. We all know why we love John and Jenny, but what do we know about their love for each other? I had no idea when I met John almost 20 years ago that one day he'd asked me to be here for him in this role on one of the most important days of his life. After my own wedding day, the birth of my children, I can say that this is one of the most important days of mine. It's such an honor to be here for the two of you, and it's a task that I haven't taken lightly. So to that end, I took the time to interview John and Jenny separately, and after some reflection, I attempted to capture the essence of what they mean to each other, at least to the degree that such a thing can even be put into words. And my conclusion is this: John loves all of Jenny, and Jenny loves all of John. John loves that Jenny has a playful sense of humor, evidenced by the time she referred to a Carolina Panthers football player as beef stew on national television. Jenny loves that John is easygoing and level-headed. He doesn't sweat the small stuff, and he's helped her learn to do the same. John loves that Jenny is a talented artist, even if she sometimes feels reluctant to show that exceptional talent to others. Jenny loves that John appreciates great TV, movies, and music, even though he always has the volume up just a little too loud. And you do. John loves that Jenny shows compassion for all living things, demonstrated during their trip to the Vancouver Aquarium, where she had an animated and extended conversation with several otters and at least one dolphin. Jenny loves that John has a competitive fire, even though that competitive fire once got most of the groomsmen and I kicked out of a church basketball game. John loves that Jenny goes out of her way for John and others, even if it's just surprising him with a giant birthday cookie. He's just not that into cake. Anyway, Jenny loves that John keeps things neat and tidy, even if that also includes the totally excessive step of ironing his t-shirts. John loves that Jenny is up for anything. A fun trip, an adventurous meal, or just being open to learning about the movie Goonies. Jenny loves that John is young at heart. And John loves that Jenny is an old soul. John loves all of Jenny, and Jenny loves all of John. That's a beautiful thing, and it's also the only way. It may sound strange coming from a guy that deals with numbers and business operating agreements for a living, but marriage is not a 50-50 partnership where each side does their half. Marriage is a 100-100 partnership. Each person must give 100% to the other without care for what they might or might not get back in return. A great marriage inspires that kind of commitment. It's not just a feeling, it's an actual promise. It's a vow. The formal exchange of vows is the most ancient part of the wedding ceremony, and indeed, some version of these words have been spoken between people in love for hundreds of years. And while many have spoken such words, it's also true that when said, these words, these promises, belong only to you. To those friends and family here who love you, these promises mean something. But for the two of you, these promises mean everything. To be sure, you've already professed your love and commitment to each other many times, and you'll continue to do so. But today, we ask you to pause and to make these promises aloud and in the presence of a community of people who will support you in the years to come. John, do you take Jenny to be your wife and to live together in marriage? Do you promise to love, comfort, and honor Jenny for better or worse, for richer or poorer, in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, be faithful only to Jenny so long as you both shall live? If so, say, I do. I do. Jenny, do you take John to be your husband and to live together in marriage? Do you promise to love, comfort, and honor John for better or worse, for richer or poorer, in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, being faithful only to John so long as you both shall live? If so, say, I do.
you.
We've heard the vows shared by John and Jenny, and we'll now solidify their meaning through the physical symbol of the rings. The ring represents the infinite and eternal nature of your commitment. Let it stand as an ever-present reminder of who you were on this day and how you felt about each other. John. Place the ring on Jenny's finger and repeat after me. With this ring.
With this ring,
I pledge my love and faithfulness to you.
I pledge my love and faithfulness to you
Today, tomorrow, and always.
today, tomorrow, and always.
Jenny, place the ring on John's finger and repeat after me. With this ring,
With this ring,
I pledge my love and faithfulness to you.
I pledge my love and faithfulness to you.
Today, tomorrow, and always.
Today, tomorrow, and always.
John and Jenny, you've heard the words about love and marriage. You've made your promises. You've celebrated your union with the giving and receiving of rings. Therefore, it is with much pleasure and through the power vested in me by the great state of North Carolina that I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may seal your marriage with a kiss. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating for the very first time as husband and wife, John and